Hello, welcome back to Finding Aiur, episode 1. Please excuse our technical difficulties previously. This week we are casting Hart versus Neeb from the round of 16. But first, we will be getting into a 2v2 matchup between Zenidor and some... what was his name? Manjunith? Okay. And Manjunith and then AI computers. Yeah. Basically, it just kept freezing last time we tried this. So, looks like I've cleared out the issue. It seems to be loading faster and whatnot, but yeah, we'll know for certain in a moment. Anything else I should inform them of while we're loading?
You want to redo the introduction of your spirit animal?
Oh, yes. This is my Carbot Zergling, which I have yet to name. And Jairus Omega got it for me for Christmas, and my sister says that it is my spirit animal. Anyways.
I think this is a fitting analysis.
As we can show there. Anyways, if you will introduce our players yet again.
Alright, spotting in the top left, the red Protoss, the valiant ally of Zenidor as they built against the robotic foes, Manjunith. And the other opponent against the robotic foes, the teal Protoss.
That's not teal.
Blue.
Yeah.
The blue Protoss, Ataraxia Esports Communities, Zenidor. And spotting on the bottom left, the leader progenitor of the robotic apocalypse, the foe of Zenidor, the AI2 Very Hard. And his most trusted general, the diabolical purple Protoss, AI3 Elite.
Okay. This map favors Zerg, simply because it is very hard to wall both ramps. However, as there is no Zerg on this map, it's relatively irrelevant. This map, however, is not ideal for any other type of rush, because there is a long rush distance. So generally speaking, when Zenidor goes for these 2v2 AI, he's really just wanting to practice his mechanics. He's not really looking for a really interesting game, and most of those are not saved. This is the exception because, well, Manjunith is special. We will be speeding up through certain sections of this game because it is 45 minutes long. Yeah, so basically, to summarize how this game opened so far, Zenidor was talking to Manjunith and asked whether or not Manjunith plans on rushing or playing a macro game, because you can separate 90% of all builds into a rush or macro. And we can just sort of denote a rush as anything that commits up to commits 300 resources or more before the 630 mark, and then If not, it is either aggressive or macro. Aggressive would be something like one base timing with a transition behind it, which those are kind of difficult. Anyways, there's a couple different things. I mean, you really only see those in PvP or TVT. Mirror matchups, essentially. Except for ZVZ, I guess. Because ZVZ is weird. Anyways, what we have here is Manjunith is throwing down a barracks in the middle of the map. So normally, when you see barracks in the middle of the map, you say to yourself, particularly at this timing, okay, it's a proxy 2 gate, proxy racks. So as a Protoss player, I need to go for something. If my ally is doing that, I should do something like a proxy 2 gate or a aggressive 3 gate, etc., etc. But this is a strange map to be aggressive on, and these are bots. So I'm not exactly sure what Zenidor will do. He's not proxying.
Macro is illegal. Macroing is illegal in StarCraft. Botting. Call them bots.
Anyways. It looks like Zenidor is just going to open relatively normal. And yeah, so we're going to speed up from this point until something interesting happens. I could go on about other details, but it is not really important. Zenidor will take a cyber soon. Manjunith has taken gas. And the AI computers are playing rather normal. Oh, did Zenidor forget his cyber? Oh no, there it is. It's just not built yet. That would be very unorthodox. So, I mean, over here, we do, in fact, have that proxy 2 racks, but he's not proxy 2 racksing exactly. He's taken a second gas, which you don't do in a proxy 2 racks. Everything's late. For it, he's gonna be, actually, I think he's no, he's not supply capped, but if you were going for that, I mean, essentially, there's a lot of things that should be down that are not down if you wanted to do a normal proxy 2 racks. Zenidor is sort of looking at the map and saying, okay, I don't really know what my ally is doing, but I'm going to throw down a expansion now, and hopefully figure out some way to win this game. Yeah, I mean, relatively simple thus far. This map is not the greatest for muta or drop play, because there's not a whole lot of dead space to maneuver. But, I mean, mutas and drops are generally very effective at the lower levels anyways, or against computers. Generally speaking. He's also going to proxy a factory, and put a tech lab on it. This is probably going to be for siege tanks, just because he'd have no other reason to get the tech lab if he wasn't going to pump siege tanks out. and also because I remember this game. So Zenidor is going to saturate his main, and his natural is halfway towards saturation. He has thrown down a Twilight and a Cyber and 3 gateways total. On the other side of things, both the hard and elite computer, or both the very hard and the elite computer, have taken expansions and started to build armies. So basically Zenidor is on par with the computers, but I would not exactly say the same of Manjunith, as he has not taken an expansion and does not have a sizable army of which to speak. It's something, but there's no stim, no medevacs. There is a siege tank and a bunker, but this is a pretty small army. It could probably take either army in a one-on-one, as it is a good composition, but whereas it's pure stalker from both computers so far, but it can't take both armies at once. Zenidor has no real army of which to speak of, but he does have the ability to produce a substantial army very fast, and he does have a skeletal army, I should say. 4 stalkers and 2 sentries and a mothership core will stop any drops or basic pushes. He can't fight both armies, but if just one army attacks him, he can buy himself time in order to actually put together an army with a photon overcharge, of course. He is on 1, 2, 3, 4 gateways, and he's throwing down a robo now, and getting more gateways. We're 9 minutes into the game so far, and Manjunith still has not taken an expansion, and is really only working with 2 barracks and a factory. So essentially, I don't really know what to tell you regarding Manjunith. It's just bad. Don't do this.
Pity beyond.
He's getting an eBay. Oh, he does have a Stargate. So basically, he has the equivalent of a 1-1-1, plus an extra gateway. So this is, if you were in a TVT matchup, he definitely has all the facilities he needs in order to be very aggressive at this point in time. But he wouldn't spend his time on bunkers, he would spend them on siege tanks and medevacs, which he's not really doing. Not really sure why that's there. The very hard computer is, or both, I mean, basically the opposing composition is Stalker, Immortal with some Sentry and Zealot, or minimal Sentry and Zealot. And at the very least, if anything does come, it will get scouted before it reaches the base, since Manjunith is putting his supply depots on basically every entry point to the base and to their bases. I kind of like this as an idea, but it also gives you the possibility of being supply capped. So there's a couple of different ways you can